Pete along with Alan Hahn, so the losing streak is over. Knicks a whole lot better in the second half than they were in the first half. They dominated quarters 3 and 4 tonight.
And I thought Karl-Anthony Towns, at the start of the fourth quarter, took over the game, and he became the dominant player that everybody's used to seeing. Jalen Brunson had a great third quarter to get the Knicks right there, and they had the lead. But it was a 15-5 run to open the fourth quarter. And it was Towns who was just absolutely dominant. Just driving to the basket, drawing fouls. He was unguardable. And that's the Karl-Anthony Towns the Knicks love to see.
And interesting, Brunson with 26 points, but took a season-low 12 shots. You mentioned his dominance in the third quarter. Knicks won the second half by a total of 17 points after being down by 5 at the break.
Now, you're getting a bad switch here. So what does he do? He takes advantage of that, drives to the lane, and he gets the and one. And for the rebounding as well. Zubac was so tough on the boards and very physical in this whole game. But Towns started matching that physicality, and that was important. He got him into early foul trouble also in the third quarter that put him to the bench. And there he had to be careful now as Towns was driving to the basket, and he was just getting buckets. And there's a little extra effort that you're also looking for. You didn't notice it because Kohler came up with the ball, but that was Towns that caused that deflection for the easy two, and that was the 15-5 run. How about Yabusele going for a dunk there on Zubac? And Jalen Brunson with the long-distance three-pointer, an incredibly efficient game, and he was purposeful in making sure that he was passing the ball early in a lot of the offense. Yabusele having an impact on this game, Bill, I think that's important for him because he's wanted to have a moment, an impact type of game, because the Knicks picked him up in the offseason thinking he'd be a big player for them off the bench. He had an impact in this game. That stuff's important. The bench scoring was important. But I'm telling you, those early fourth quarter minutes for Karl-Anthony Towns was a great sight to see for the Knicks.
And talking about the bench, you saw Yabusele Clarkson off the bench with 12, and Tyler Kolek was a plus 18. Knicks doing a lot better in terms of points in the paint on defense. First time in the last 8 games their opponent has been under 50 in terms of points in the paint. Here now with Deuce McBride. Deuce, thanks so much for stopping by. Congrats on a great game. So you guys snapped your 4-game losing streak. What was a big difference for you guys tonight, you think?
Man, first off, all glory to God. We came together as a team. We knew we ran into a tough stretch, but the key, our guys that came in off the bench, Tyler, Yabu, Jordan, Mitch, they were huge. They were huge for us tonight.
You guys lost the first half by 5 points, won the second half by 17 points. What was the difference between half one and half two?
Yeah, we knew we wanted to start in the third quarter and really get going. It's a 48-minute game, so we just have to stay focused throughout the whole time and just keep coming together and getting stops.
So you missed 8 games with a bad ankle. This is your 7th game back. Since you've come back, you're around 50% from downtown. How have you been able to pick up where you left off before you got hurt?
Man, honestly, just trusting in God. Go down, but keep my faith, keep working, and the medical staff doing great, working with Coach Pete, Coach Jordan, and staying on top of my game.
Dudes, congrats! Thanks for dropping by.
Appreciate it.
So Alan McBride, 14 of his 16 in the first half. He began the night 5th overall in the league in three-point percentage at 46%.
Yeah, it didn't get any worse for him. He got hot in the second quarter when the Knicks got down by 7. And somebody had to get cooking, and he got cooking in that second quarter, knocked down, I think, 4 threes in that quarter. And you're just seeing his release nice and high. It's very consistent, too, and that's how you become a great shooter. And I just think, like, his impact in the starting lineup was felt a little bit later in the game. Early on, not so much, because, again, the Clippers got off to a good start. But as the game got on, I think you really started to see what he can do at both ends of the floor.
All right, Alan. Wally Zerbiak tonight helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Wally, great to see you. What did you think tonight?
Well, after rock bottom against Detroit on Monday night, there had to be adjustments made by the coaching staff and the players. Not panic adjustments, but there were some serious adjustments made as far as the ball being in a lot of other guys' hands, not just Jalen Brunson the whole entire game. And Jalen and Brunson embrace being a pure point guard tonight, trusting his teammates, allowing Karl-Anthony Towns to initiate the offense and make a lot of plays and take ownership of that second unit. Alan, you mentioned it. The fourth quarter, the way he played with Tyler Kolek, the chemistry they're starting to develop in that pick and roll was huge. And that was a big-time win after some tough days for this team. And I think Mike Brown's going to be happy with the resilience his team showed tonight.
What you saw from Jalen Brunson, Wally, exactly what you're talking about, was somebody that made it a point knowing that I've got another star on this team that's feeling away, and I got to get him right. I got to get him going, and that's what he did. Play through him a little bit early in the game, and don't wait for those second quarter minutes where he can go. And I think that helped Karl-Anthony Towns get into a better rhythm. And Brunson being as, I think, efficient as he was with his shooting, playing off the ball. I thought that was a wrinkle that we probably were expecting to see more this season, but we definitely want to see more.
Especially in the fourth quarter. Mikal Bridges did a lot of initiation in terms of the
He brought
offense.
the ball up the floor. There were others as well.
Talking about Cat now, guys. Thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Cat tonight, Wally, what'd you see? Took only 4 shots against the Pistons Monday night. 18 shots taken tonight. What was the difference for him?
Well, that's alarming if he's only taking 4 shots. He's too good of a player. All-NBA, All-Star, everything. The ball was in his hands early. He was initiating passing. How about that lob, the Gotham lob to Mitchell Robinson? And the effort and energy that he played with. You know, he didn't hit a 3, but that doesn't matter. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense. When you can get switches on him in the pick and roll, that's when he can just take advantage of mismatches. He had a tough matchup with Zubac. I love that little flip shot, that dipsy-do. That was just ton of skill, ton of talent. And you got to remember, we have 2 All-Stars on this team last year, Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, an MVP candidate this year, has been playing outstanding basketball. But let's not forget about what Karl-Anthony Towns can bring. He can single-handedly carry teams to victory, and he helped do that tonight.
Yeah, and I thought his resiliency was good against some physical defense, because there were times earlier in the game the crowd was getting into it. We know sometimes he can get frustrated if he's not getting whistles, but instead of fading away, instead of stopping, he just kept driving, kept going. Got 10 free throw attempts in this game, 8 for 10 from the free throw line. See, to me, that's when you know he's really going, right? The three-point shot, he's a great shooter, and there are games where he's going to knock down a ton of threes. To me, it's when he's going to the basket consistently, and then he's also going to the free throw line as a result of it, and he just keeps going no matter how much he's getting hit. That's when you start to see the guy that becomes, well, like Wally said, an all-star, all-NBA player.
And guys, also of note, Cat a season-high 7 assists. Brunson, we're going to look at him now, Wally, 7 assists. And the Knicks as a team, 31 assists. When they have at least 30 assists, are now 10-1.
Oh, yeah, that's great basketball. And you could see they made some adjustments in their offense, too, because teams are playing passing lanes. Right. Now, they're trying to take away the ball moving side to side. So as a result, Mike Brown threw in a couple wrinkles for some backdoor dunks. Jalen Brunson just allowing his teammates to initiate the offense. It didn't look like he had to work as hard to get his looks. And when he did get the open shots, they were great shots in rhythm within the offense. He nailed them. High percentage shooting, only 12 shots to get to 26 points, 9 for 12. Still put pressure on the defense with the ability to get to the free throw line. And Chris Dunn, guys, he's an elite defender. I watched him lock up Anthony Edwards back in December when I was courtside watching the Timberwolves play the Clippers. He is an elite lockdown defender that's out on the floor for his defense, and Jalen Brunson made him look like he wasn't even there tonight.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing off the ball. I really thought that was something special. It was something Mike Brown talked about going into the season. They wanted to do more, because you know that's what teams are going to do. They're going to put their guards, their big guards on him. They're going to trap him anytime you try to pick and roll. So you saw early in the first quarter, all of a sudden, he was giving the ball up and getting down the floor fast. A little bit of that Steph Curry offense where he runs down, and now he's running off screens trying to get the ball back once it crosses over half court. Then they can get it to their offense. And you know, when you do that, it almost kind of starts creating motion and energy in your offense instead of him walking it up and everybody's kind of standing waiting for it to get going. So it takes pressure off him, but I think it also does help jumpstart the offense.
All right, Alan, you'll be in the locker room getting some post-game reaction. Wally will be with me here coming up. But up next, we have